We just spent 3 wonderful days in the Pacific Northwest with the all-new Kia Borrego midsize sport utility vehicle. Now, when you're Kia and you enter a segment that's dominated by players that have been around for 20 years, like the Nissan Pathfinder, the Toyota 4Runner, Jeep Grand Cherokee, and of course the Ford Explorer, you need to be a segment buster. Let's find out if this Kia Borrego is going to bust up this segment. So when you're Kia and you're really not necessarily on the top of people's shopping list, you really got to make a name for yourself, and it's all about the numbers. So let's look at some of the numbers for the Borrego. First of all, it comes in a V6, a 3.8 liter, or 4.6 liter V8. The V6 has 276 horsepower, the V8 337. Now, we're looking at those numbers, those are very respectable, and in many ways they are segment leading. I wouldn't say segment busting, but segment leading. The V6 has a 5-speed automatic, the V8 a 6-speed automatic. Fuel economy, well, you're looking at about 16 and 21 for the V6, about 15 and 20 on the V8. Currently, there are 2 trim levels. There's a base LX, and then there's the upgraded EX. A limited version has been talked about, but has not been released as of yet. A base LX with a V6 and rear-wheel drive is going to start at $27,000, but the car you're looking at here is a 4-wheel drive V6 with some premium options, and it's actually closer to $36,000. So when you look at the midsize SUV segment, $36,000 for a V6 with 4-wheel drive, that is not what I call segment busting. You can go into the Ford dealership, you can go into a Jeep dealer, even Toyota and Nissan. You can pretty much get something in that price range. It may have a few less features and options, may have a little bit less horsepower, but you're talking about getting some equity. You're talking about brands that have been around for a long time, nameplates that have been around for a long time. And when it comes time to resale value, you pretty much know what to expect with those. We really don't know what to expect with the Borrego. The base price on this particular vehicle, which again is a V6 with 4-wheel drive, is around $30,000. Now, how do we get to $36,000? Well, you add $750 for the chrome wheels, $1,800 for the premium package, which includes sunroof, a wonderful Infinity sound system with over 300 watts, rear AC with full controls, running boards, and larger tires. Navigation system is another $1,500. Luxury package, which is $1,500, consists of leather seat trim, heated front seats, power tilt, and telescopic steering, and some power adjustments on the driver and passenger seats. Some of the things that really disappointed us in this vehicle, for example, the tailgate. It's not a power liftgate. We'd like to see that. Rear view camera. That's not even available unless you get the Limited, which hasn't even been released at the time of this segment. The other thing that we weren't too impressed with was the suspension. This is an SUV, a true SUV, not a crossover, body on frame. And with that, you're gonna have some issues, but in driving this vehicle, we kind of felt the technology wasn't quite there compared to some of the competition. So these are definitely some things that owners in this segment are gonna be looking for and something to be aware of. Some of the things that impressed us is just the overall ride. You know, when you're on the highway or even around town, we actually prefer the V6. The 6-speed on the V8 is actually geared pretty high, which is great for fuel economy, but there's a little bit of a delay when you're accelerating and you sometimes don't feel like you're driving a V8. One of the safety features on the Borrego are these outside mirror turn signal indicators. This is a wonderful feature that was first introduced to the market by Mercedes-Benz, and of course you expect that in a luxury vehicle, but you don't necessarily expect that in a Kia. Now, the Borrego is loaded with safety features. There are a ton of airbags, front, side airbags, with rollover sensors, electronic stability control, traction control system, tire pressure monitoring system. You also have downhill brake control and hill assist control. These are great features if you're going to be climbing up a hill or coming down a hill. It helps control the vehicle. The backup warning system is wonderful. Front active headrest. They did take a lot of the safety into consideration, and if that is an important feature for you, then as you're benchmarking it against the competition, you'll notice that Kia, because it is an '09 model and obviously a lot newer than some of the ones that have been out for a while, it's going to have some more advanced safety features. So if that's important, then certainly give the Borrego some consideration. Kia really seems to have learned the lessons of others like Subaru, for example, by making the front end just simple. Got the logo right in the middle, fairly prominent, and I think that's important for Kia. They're trying to get a little more recognition out there, and there's certainly no reason to be ashamed to drive a Kia. I think it says it's more of a statement that, hey, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, and I'm value conscious, and that's why I choose to drive a Kia. One of the features that the Kia engineers really stressed in the Borrego is the fact that it has 16 air vents. That sounds like a lot, and it is. It's the most in the segment. Really like the hood on this vehicle. It's different. You know, they could have just gone with a very plain design, but as you can see, they got some nice bold indentations here, and you're going to be spending a lot of time on your vehicle as you're driving. You want to look out instead of just seeing a plain sheet of metal. It's got some contours in it, and you know what? That really works for us. Whether you're driving around town trying to park in a tight spot, or you're out here in the great outdoors, turning radius on an SUV is very important. And one thing the Kia Borrego does extremely well is have a very tight turning radius. In general, our perception is we like this vehicle. Aesthetically, I think this car definitely gets an 8 out of 10 from us. It's just the overall package and what you get. $36,000 just seems like a lot of money for us. I would be patient, wait to see what happens. As it does with many manufacturers in this market, they're going to have to adjust the price, put some incentives on the vehicle. And I think if you can get into one of these for around $31,000, $32,000, you know, equipped somewhat like this, I think that is a segment buster.